What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the podcast here, the Coaches Show with All Sports Best. Today's podcast is brought to you by CNB Bank. Experience over 100 years of trusted banking with CNB Bank. Supporting local families, businesses, and community, your hometown bank where tradition matters. Visit us today, go Cavemen. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. I chose the longest ad read today, Coach.
That was a long one. That was a good one.
How are you guys doing? I've got Coach Sanders on and Coach Millar on today.
What's going on, man?
Doing good, man.
All right. Glad to have you guys. I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it. Coach Millar, first time on the pod. How are we feeling today?
I'm excited. I'm really happy to be. It's like I got the call to be on.
You did. You did.
I was all excited. I called
Coming
my
out of the
mom.
bullpen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You called your mom.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. This
Absolutely.
Is big time.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you. Okay, so let's start with you.
Hit me.
Coach Millar, what is your assessment of the coaches' interviews so far? How's your head coach doing so far?
Good. No, dude, it's awesome. Like, we listened to it on the way up to games. I mean, we listened to Bobby and Queso last week on the way to Cruces, which was cool. It's just nice to throw it on and listen. It's always interesting because he throws a tidbit in there that you don't really ever expect. You know, he says something silly or just kind of
you got to be listening.
Yeah, and so it's kind of fun to pick those up each week.
Sure. Coach, you went to Las Cruces, played Centennial, the number 2 team in the state. In my book, it went pretty well. You guys led up 35. That's the most they've led up all season. What was your reflection on the game?
Honestly, I'm proud of our kids and what they did. They're a solid football team. I mean, that number 2's for real. I don't know if Cruces High just is not as good, but right now, from what I've seen and what we've gone against, that's the best football team we've played. You know, normally, that game goes a little different for the Cavemen.
Yeah.
So I was really proud of our kids that they stuck in and they stopped the run for the most part. They got us on a couple tricky ones. But that game was a lot closer than a lot of people thought. And
Sure.
I'm proud of our kids for how they came out and played. And honestly, you take 1 or 2 plays out of that thing, and to me, that's a 28-21 football game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still get us, but it's a 28-21 football game.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing that came out of that is our kids walked away from that game going, holy cow.
Yeah.
We
Head
can
held
play
high.
with guys like this. And so next time we're there, it's not a holy cow moment. It's we've been here, we've done this, and then you build on it. Just like the Lovington game, too.
Yeah. I was going to say, how important has playing Artesia and Lovington been
Absolutely.
for the mindset,
Yeah, it's we're not where we need to be by any means, but man, we're heading in the right direction for sure.
Sure. So can you walk me through something that I didn't expect? You guys can both kind of give me your takes. You guys are on the sidelines a lot closer. Cason Pettis taking off for 50+ yards on a run?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Like 66, wasn't it?
Was it
I think
66
that's
total?
the
Yeah, it was
official number.
66
Yeah,
total.
66.
What was the vibe on the sideline when that happened? Because we don't see that often, right?
No, I went and got a sandwich and came back, and he was still running.
Oh, wow.
We make fun of him because we were telling him he was slow, and he was turning around looking back. But
Yeah.
it's a play we kind of been running a lot this year, and it just never actually came out to be a keep for him. And honestly, I thought that he had actually given the give to it. And I look up, and he's in the secondary, and I was like his mom in the stands. I was like, "Go, Casey, go!"
Right.
But he did a really good job. So
Yeah.
I think he ended up with 105 total for the game as far as rushing. So I'll take that out of a quarterback.
Right.
I'll take
Oh,
a
yeah.
100-yard rushing game out of a quarterback any day of the
100%.
week. So.
Yeah. And Coach Millar is the special teams coach.
Yep. Yeah.
So is Cason Pettis back to receive at any time soon?
He's not, but it's funny because there's so much going on the sidelines. Like, we have the TV, we've got all these other moving parts, and so I was, saying the other day, I watch the game. I watch offense as a fan. I don't know what we're calling. I don't know what we're doing.
that's cool.
It's kind of neat just to turn around. And so one of the only thought going through my head for Queso, a kid that doesn't normally run, is just don't fumble. That's all I was thinking about, is just hold on to the football. This is a huge momentum play. We're about to go score a touchdown after this. Like, just hold on to the ball. I don't care if you don't score, just hold on to it. So for me, that's what I was thinking, and then the next step of getting PAT ready and stuff like that. But just like, all right, hey, great run, hold on to the football. You are slow, but that's okay. We still love you. It's kind of a different perspective.
Well, you mentioned the fumble. I saw a fumble happen. I think it, in my opinion, obviously very much could have been a 14-point swing. But was it a fumble?
I'm going to say no.
Because from
It's
my
incomplete pass,
standpoint,
unplanned.
of course, I'm in the stands. You guys are right on top of it. It looked like forward progress with the, what is it? Forward
The old Tom
Absolutely.
Brady
movement.
Absolutely.
Open hand.
Yeah.
I'm opposite.
Oh, you thought it was a
yeah,
fumble
it's-
for
I'm
sure.
We slowed it down in zone camera. It looks. I'm more mad about the protection breakdown, and it actually even wasn't a Centennial kid. It was one of our kids that hit the ball out. So
Was
and
it a
that
helmet?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a helmet, and that was the first play coming out of half, and we actually had a decent play
Yeah.
call there. But yeah, so we turn around and give them the ball. I don't know what it was, like 5, maybe on 5 or 10. It was inside
Short
the 10.
field, yeah,
Yeah, we
teaching
gave them
mistakes
we gave them a
tough.
short porch, and they capitalized on it. So that's one thing that I wish we could have got back. But that's a cheap 7. So that's 28 to, and then let's just say let's change possessions, and we get a score out of that first drive, and now it's 28, 21.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
but it's ands and buts, right?
Right. On the road, 3 hours away, it felt like our crowd matched up with Centennials. Did it feel that way? Was that weird that they had so little
It was
fans?
really good.
It's not weird. Every time
Really?
we went over there, it's blah.
It's just like they don't care about that game.
I don't know if it's
Or any
just
game.
us, but I don't think I don't know. It's weird. It's like there's not always we play Oregon Mountain there, we play Cruces High there, and it's never a really like intimidating crowd, or it's pretty average at best.
I think playing on a Thursday night as well.
That's true.
But I'm with Coach. It's a community stadium. Like if you
Yeah.
go either locker room, it's the same. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I just don't think it's not really a high school football town. At least when we're there, it could be wrong for other teams, but
Right.
when we're there, it's kind of.
They pack the house for the
For the Mayfield
the
Cruces
Cruces
game.
High.
Yeah,
That's,
Well, they go to a different stadium completely.
They,
for
they
that
still
game.
do. Are they playing that Aggie?
They still
tomorrow?
do it at
Yeah.
Aggie. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's a
pretty
big game.
incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. All right. As a special teams coach, what is your main stressor to the kids? Like, what is one thing that every year you hammer?
Every possession, it's just the most important thing's the football. Obviously, the offense, the defense, right? That's what gets the most attention and love. But it is 1/3 of the game, no matter how you slice it. And one of the things that I've noticed this year for, just kind of getting into the groove of it, this is my 3rd year doing the special teams coordinating. But last week was the first week I truly felt game planned against. I've been fortunate enough. Coach Sanders calls the offense. So like I said, I kind of watch it as a fan. Coach Widener calls the defense. I know what we're doing, and I can help out, and I coach the kids up, but I'm not the one, game planning and scheming. So last week was kind of the first time. It's like, oh, we're at the 6A level. These dudes know what we're doing. They've got to read on us and things like that. But the biggest thing is protect the football no matter what, because you've got kids out there that sometimes don't touch the football, right? On punt,
Yeah.
on punt return, on kickoff return. You've got kids that don't really, run those offensive plays. So now it's like, okay, no matter what happens, we want the football at the end of this play. Now, if we do, we can figure it out, and it happened last week. We fumbled the kickoff return. We gave the offense the ball at the 2-yard line. They were able to sustain a drive, come out of the end zone, get it all the way to midfield. So it's like, as long as we have the football, we can figure it out from there.
Sure.
So that's the biggest thing, yeah.
I wanted to know your thoughts on the Starburst.
They kind of changed the rules. You used to be
Yeah.
able to smoke the dude. I call him the distributor. The
Oh,
guy that
you
charges
just
that.
hit him?
Yeah, you used to be able to
can't.
smoke him. You can't do that anymore. He's defenseless.
So
Right.
now it's more effective.
It is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their tells and got their things, and so we've noticed some stuff on film with some certain teams, but the biggest thing that irks me, I'm a rule guy. I love it. I'm a nerd like that. And they hand the football off forwards, which you can't do.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't understand how we've just let that slide and just
Sure.
become a thing. But no, I like this. It's confusing, right? Because kids just see all this stuff in front of them and they don't really follow their lanes and things like that. So it's effective for sure, but hopefully we got a dude that puts it in the end zone and we don't have to worry about it,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's the best defense.
Yeah.
Is this the toughest strength of schedule that you've seen so far? At least, well, in Carlsbad. So far.
Our last year's schedule was a gauntlet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one's not far off, maybe -1 game. But yeah, it's tough. Our district's inherently tough, so you can't change those games. And then you look at our non-district games. You got Artesia number one in the state when we play them. Goddard was sitting 4 or 5, and then Lovington, of course, was number 1 when we played them. So there's 3 of the 4 that are ranked, and good football teams.
Sure.
So it's pretty it's tough. It is what it is. Like, we got to prep for that district play, because you got Centennial and you got Cruces High and you got Hobbs, of course, and then even Alamo and Oregon Mountain are they're looking up, they're trending up. Oregon Mountain's I don't know, are they 2 and
They won 2 games.
yeah, they're 2. I mean, that's 2 games more than they've won in 2 years. So
Yeah.
They've always had athletes. They just needed someone there to orchestrate them. So I think they're in the right steps. So it's gonna be tough from here on out. And then Clovis is a little down right now. There's no hiding that one. But there's dudes in Clovis. There's athletes. There's kids in Clovis that can play football, and they'll get that thing turned around too. And football's better when Clovis is good.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
kinda
yeah.
like,
No,
the
for
beast
sure.
to the east. So that new coach, he just got hired on start of the summer. So he's a Permian guy. He was out of coaching for a little bit, but he'll get them going.
Yeah.
They'll be back.
Tell me about the defense right now. Do we have Diego Ramirez? Is he coming back? How's he doing?
He's
'Cause
good.
he came out and went to the hospital
Yeah.
precautionary? Or?
Yeah, it was a lot like Ivan did on the Goddard game. It was
Okay.
precautionary, and so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If we have to stick around and wait and make sure a kid's okay, and they do extra steps to make sure that's okay, I'm good with that. But yeah, so he's probably going to miss this week. It's nothing bad. He's still a little sore, and he's got some little bit of swelling and stuff, but it's nothing. He's not done for the year or nothing. So we're looking probably next week maybe.
Good. Very good. That's what I like to hear. The best thing that you got out of Centennial, and the thing that you want to correct before playing Clovis.
I think the best thing, we kind of spoke to it earlier, is just that our kids kind of are starting to believe
Yeah.
that they're a decent football team. Like I said, we're not anywhere where we need to be, but they weren't scared off the field. Like I said, if that game would have happened last year, the year before that, it's 47-7. It's 54-7.
Yeah, could be.
And our kids have just learned to play and do what we ask them to do. And so this week we really went into it focused more on, again, us doing our, don't even want them to really focus on film. If we end up doing what we're supposed to do, it doesn't matter. So, and Clovis has had a lot of personnel switching and changing, and they're trying to find kids that fit their system. And so kids are moving around. I think they've had some injuries. I think they've had, some kids just disappear. So probably growing pains of first year programs and stuff like that. But so we're not really keen on personnel. It's more schematic stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's kind of what I took from. What was the other part of the question?
The thing that you are going to dial in before Friday.
I just focus on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that's kind of been our motto all year. We're a good football team, and most of the times when we don't do well, it's because of us. It's not because someone did something to us. It's because we messed up, or we slid a protection the wrong way, or just little tiny things, or tackling. That was a big one from last week. So I look over there all week and they're tackling. So just self-reflect and get better at what we messed up. But
Yeah.
a lot of it's just us. Just focus on us.
Coach Millar, how long have you been coaching in the program?
This is year 10.
Year 10.
Getting old, dude. Yeah.
You are.
This is my first and only program to be in, but third head coach. So
You were what,
21
when you got here. Okay, so very cool.
Yeah.
What is the level of buy-in this year that you've seen in comparison to maybe your other 9?
I think that's a little bit of a loaded question, just with the different styles of head coaching. Sukup was here for like 6 months. Love
Sure.
the dude. He's awesome, but he just, it was tough to get those kids to buy into a coach that wasn't here very long. I've said it time and time again. We lick our wounds after a Friday night game like last week, and we talk as coaches and figure out what we can do. And I said it at the staff meeting on Sunday. Like, the kids are buying what we're selling.
Yeah.
And I don't know, who it has to come from, but typically it comes from Coach Sanders. They'll run through a brick wall for us. They'll do whatever they want them to do, and just. So I guess in that regard, it's the best I've ever seen.
Cool.
I'm with Coach. We're not where we need to be, but I think the kids really, they want it a little bit more. I hate saying that, wanting it, right? Everybody wants to win, but I think they're there. They're buying what we're selling. They're showing up every day at 6:30 to go to practice. They're staying after school to work out and things like that. You don't really see that, in other programs, but they're doing it for us.
Well, I'll say from my perspective, I have a lot of freshman football players, and they talk about it a lot, and they are pumped about it all the time. And I'm awesome. I guess just from what I've seen in years past, I've just seen different versions of it. Like, I'm excited to go to football because I like football or because I like my friends. This year, it's just the entire package, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things we always notice on film, when we play at home, obviously it's tough to travel, right? Cruise is 3 hours on a Thursday, right? But like when we play at home and we score, in Cibola and then Lovington, you look at that student section, you look at just the crowd really, but you look at that student section specifically, you're going to see freshman football players up there stoked to see it. You're going to see just high school kids. So it's not just our kids that are buying in, but it kind of seems the whole school and is starting to really feel what we've got going on. And, the pep rallies we've been doing, and just we're slowly changing it, right? We're tilting in the right direction.
Yeah, the wind's changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think what's cool about that is it actually affects the rest of the year, basketball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Softball, baseball.
Well, the volleyball game the other night, right? We had 150 kids in the students. It was tremendous. It was awesome. You start to see that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Clovis. Is that the worst road trip of the year? No? In terms of travel, because I used to hate, that was my worst. I hated it.
No, Clovis is not bad, honestly.
No.
I don't think it is. I hate going to cruises.
Okay.
There's a stretch there. You're just like,
oh.
And I had to ride the bus. These guys get to.
Oh, the Suburbans.
They get to go.
Live, there's a Whataburger in every town.
Yeah,
We'll find it.
They get to stop and stretch their legs and all that good stuff. I'm just on this bus, But yeah, and it's not comfortable. I hate the bus, but no, it's probably cruises for me. I mean, it's not. We did the Farmington trip, and that was.
Ooh, that's got to be way worse.
That was a monster trip.
That's got to be.
Yeah, that was a monster trip.
Yeah. Why do you take the Suburban? Is it
I don't think people realize
the amount of equipment.
Yeah, just the process it is to travel.
It's a circus.
Yeah.
We legitimately travel 85 people to every single football game. And when you really think about logistically traveling 85 high school kids, coaches, trainers, I mean, it's a lot.
It is.
So we actually, as a unit, we take 3 Suburbans, 1 for the trainers and 2 for the coaches, and they're full. Like, there's not an empty seat in them.
Sure.
And so, I love the Suburban.
We just have so much stuff to do. Like, we stop and eat, and those guys are getting there early and getting the food and getting it to where we're meeting to set up for meal and then our walk through, and then they're going and.
They're not just cruising.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working.
Yeah.
It's and they leave early. They leave early because they got to go get stuff done and get stuff, and then they don't realize it takes 2 hours to get everything set up for our film and get the trainers got to get there and get set up, and then they have to get tape and it's just people don't really realize what goes into it, and they're it's like, oh well, just go play a football game. It's not even close to that.
Sure,
it is truly a traveling circus.
Yeah. Well, and shout out to the Sports Med right here.
Yeah, dude, nice swag.
Got a rocket.
That's sweet.
So shout out to Luke and Derek for that.
Heck yeah.
All right, so tell me about the freshman team. I've heard a lot of good things, mostly from them. But at the time that we're taping this, undefeated. Pretty impressive. And it seems like they've got some athletes for sure. So what do you guys see from the freshman class?
That's a really good group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
I don't want them to. Don't let them listen to this.
Right. I'll blur this part out.
Just give it to them after the Roswell game tomorrow.
That's a special group. That group we had last year was a special group too. This one's special, and they're completely different specials. And I'm really excited to get them, incorporated with all of us and get them through a true blue off season and get them rolling into what we're really doing.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked for them. They're having success. Like I said, were they 4-0, 5-0?
5-0, yeah.
It's just according to if you count the forfeit. They had a forfeit, so.
Win's a win,
I count it all day.
2-0, man.
Pitching a shutout.
2-0.
Is that what it is? That's the official line?
Yeah, so Lovington had to forfeit but it's a border conference game, so we had to count it. So
it's important.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, they're doing well. They actually play Roswell High tomorrow. In my estimations, it's probably the Border Conference Championship game. It's probably that important. I think that Roswell High team's really good. They have good numbers, and those kids are doing good. So we'll see. But they're doing well. I don't want them to get a big head or nothing, but I'm excited for them.
Yeah. Clovis is currently sitting 0-4. with a hefty 24-point loss to a team we beat by 29 points. How do we look ahead to this game without looking past it? Obviously, as a coaching staff, you don't ever look past games, but like,
take this one.
Yeah, have at it.
It's as simple as last year. The exact same situation. Clovis was 0-3. We went into Clovis with a big head. We had won one game by that point. We thought we had done something. We played Volcano Vista tight last year. It was a 28-7 game, you know. And the kids walked in like we were world beaters. And it didn't go our way. I mean, we kind of got embarrassed, honestly. And we lost by 10 last year there. So I don't think the tone for us, at least as a staff, has changed. This is a district game. You know, this is their first year in the district. This is their actual first district game because they took their bye week before. So, like, they're coming in with their hair on fire. This is not a walk in the park.
Sure.
We've got to go take care of business.
No, they got some guys, and we just been preaching to them, you know, just don't overlook nothing. Like, focus on us. It's hard because, you know, they watch some film. They're like, oh, this, that. You know, they see stuff that's not great and stuff. And so it's hard to get them to focus sometimes. But I think they understand the situation.
Sure.
You know, they understand that these next 3 games are huge for us. And I think they've worked too hard to overlook it. But again, they're high school football players.
Yeah.
You know, so
right.
It's going to all come down to travel and rock and roll. I feel extremely confident we'll not do what we did last year.
Sure. Well, and I know that a lot of them watch this, and so hearing that just from our conversation, not just telling them, because it's easy to just, you know, let them know and try and get it into them. But it's like, we're really talking about this constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has been the greatest form of team bonding this year? Other than games, of course, but like, has there been anything that's kind of brought the team together?
I mean, we're with each other 24/7. It seems like, you know, they are up there in the morning, 6:30, and this group's been really good. Last year we struggled with some attendance issues and stuff like that. So when these guys when they're all putting in their chips, that inherently builds a bond. You know, they're all out there working. They're all getting up early. They're all tired. They all don't want to be there sometimes, you know. And so I think they just see it that, hey, that guy's there. That's my brother. He's showing up. He's showing up. He's showing up. I need to show up. I think that's going to be, you know, the main driver. And I think the second driver is when these start kids, you know, if we can rattle off 3 wins, I think that's going to solidify a lot of stuff, right? Because these guys have they've struggled and they've struggled and they've struggled. And man, winning does some crazy stuff. So I think that's going to help as well.
Is there a magic number for playoffs?
Ish.
I mean, because you're the stats guy that I've met. I think you're the guy.
I love it, dude. Because I think it's cool. And New Mexico, we do it so uniquely and how we factor and all that stuff. And I mean, simple answer: we need to win. You win football games, you're in the playoffs, no matter what, right? But there's a magic number. I don't necessarily care to say it here, but you know, we've thought about it. We've
you can slide it across the table if you want.
Right. But no, I mean, there is, and where we finish in district matters, and the points we win by or lose by matter, and so all that stuff factors in.
Okay, sure.
You know, it's not, but
it's not clear cut. Like
correct. Yeah, it's kind of convoluted in how we do it. But like you said, win football games, and the rest will take
there's
care of
been
itself.
times where you think you're there and the committee don't give it to you.
Right. Yeah.
Or vice versa. You think you're done. You're like, oh wait, guys, get back up here.
I mean, it is a little bit like the college football playoff. Like, I mean, we sit around on a Sunday and wait to figure out what's going to happen to us.
Yeah.
You know, we mentioned Farmington a couple of years ago. I was sure, based on the information and criteria, that we were the 7th seed and we were going to be hosting Farmington. We had actually contacted other teams to get film on them already to start breaking it down.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the selection show comes out. They pop up a bracket on YouTube, and holy cow, we've got a 9-hour road trip coming up. You know, so
we're
it's
10, they're 7. It was flip flop. We go there.
Dang. That's a stretch too. It's not even like just
week.
1 seed or we play a different team. No, you just way on the other side.
9 hours,
that's
man. It
crazy.
changed your whole week.
Yeah, it was one of those. So you leave the day before, and it's a 9-hour trip, and then you got to worry about eating and lodging, and then it was an 11:00 game. So yeah, it was and it was one of the coolest football games I've been a part of.
Really?
It was fun.
I mean,
It was a blast.
unfortunately, it didn't go our way, but it was an exciting football game.
I remember hearing about it. It was close. Okay, the phone policy. I heard about it. I didn't know about this until our last week's
I heard them talking
podcast.
about it.
They had more words afterward. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't. I don't want to get them in trouble. I was joking. But anyways, what have you seen since implementing that? Like, what changes have happened? And this is for both of you guys. Like, just what have you guys noticed?
I just think they focus. You know, I think we've changed our pregame routine from last year. And like they said, an hour from wherever we're at, we got a little milk crate. They got numbers they stick on the back of their phone, and they put it in the milk crate. And the milk crate gets locked up, and they don't get it back till after the game. And, you know, I've seen, you know, kids too worried about their swag and what they look like or taking selfies in the locker room. I just wanted to eliminate anything that I can possibly eliminate. And just have their mind focused on that particular game. And I'm not the guy that's just like, you know, absolutely no talking, like got to be super. You know? But in the same breath, you still got to be lasered in on what we're doing. And, you know, I always tell them just give me 2 hours of your time. Just give me an hour and a half, and then you can do whatever you want the rest of the day. But, and it's kind of the same thing there. Give me a couple hours and just laser focus and buy into what we're doing. And if we can eliminate anything that could possibly pull a kid away, it's just a no-brainer for me.
Sure. Well, in this day and age, that's a long time.
Yeah.
10 minutes. It's like, can
without
I get my phone
this
back?
Yeah.
Without that,
it's pretty wild.
Well, I wanted to know actually about the number that you said. Like, is it like, here, hold the number, peel this one off?
It's their number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it's just a sticker that says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a sticker that has their number on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that little milk jug or basket that we put, you think, you know, it's like going off crazy.
Yeah.
It's going off like crazy. So.
What about you? Have you noticed a big difference? Or
You know, and everybody warms up differently and things like that. But, you know, one of the cool things, so they don't have their phone, but we do, if you have AirPods or some kind of wireless headphone, you can still listen to music. So basically, they figured out, okay, make a long playlist, like an hour-long playlist. So they can still at least have that, you know, because everybody gets ready differently. But it's just they're not worried about it. They know, and it'd be different if we were pulling one kid's phone or two kids' phones away, but it's everybody, right? And it's just, you probably can't see it or feel it, but you just kind of notice that they're not looking for their phone. They're not sitting there pulling it up while we're going through a walkthrough. You know, they're not sitting there wondering if their, you know, girlfriend's Snapchatting them or their mom texted them good luck or something like that. They're actually dialed in. So when we go to a walkthrough, you know, you talk about changing the routine, they're all there paying attention without any other distractions. It's been great, honestly. I love it.
And then they don't fight it. They don't fight anything we do. Like you said, they're buying what we're selling.
That's awesome.
Like
there's no hidden phones. You've never found one? Oh.
Well, in the past, I wouldn't say this year.
Well, and that was more not a game deal. It was bad grades. I was taking phones.
Have you ever
Someone
found
gave me a burner phone.
Oh,
yeah. I think you still have it.
I still got
a shell.
I still have it.
It's like a shell.
On the trophy
Yeah.
shelf
So if you're
now.
missing a phone, I got it.
It's yours. Yeah. Okay. So that's actually pretty funny. Have you ever found a phone out on the field?
No.
Like somebody had it tucked away?
No.
Just like, let me just check on this real quick.
I don't think.
Selfie on the field?
I've seen it during the off season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could see a kid running and he's like holding his pocket. I'm like, give me your phone. Like, what do you do? Why would the world would
That's
you need
not comfortable.
What do you need a phone out here?
Right.
So
Well, there's a reason why our workout shorts don't have pockets. So
Right.
leave it in the locker. You don't need it.
Best football cleats of all time. I asked this question to the boys, you know, in the last one. Theirs is more modern, obviously. I wanted to hear what you guys have to, or are you guys modern?
No, heck no. Golly.
I didn't know they had names.
Yeah, I know. It makes me feel old.
The
Like,
black
I'm like
ones or the
curmudgeon.
white
I'm 30
ones?
years old. I played. They were LT, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Ooh.
They were Nike. They were white with black, I guess, toes. We played on a grass field. I thought it was the coolest thing. You screwed in your cleats, which I thought was really neat. So you could get metal tips, or you could get plastic
I had
tips. But what really set it off, which was really cool, in the side of the shoe where the Nike symbol was, it was a little air pocket. And when you bought the shoes, they gave you like 20 color swatches. So you put in your own color. Which,
I remember that.
yeah, it was big time, dude, in 2009, 2010. So, but
That's
the
cool.
LTs, I wore one pair of cleats, but that's how I roll. Just
That's pretty awesome.
one pair until they break, and then go get another one.
But they don't let metal go on anymore, right? Like that was
Not on turf.
No.
And most places, I think
Not even
everywhere we
grass,
play is
right?
turf.
You can wear them on grass?
I think so.
Really? That
Yeah.
seems dangerous.
Well, we had
Cleat some dudes.
the ones you're talking about, the screw ins. They were the plastic screw in, but they had the metal bottom.
It's a metal bottom,
tip.
yeah. So it sounds like a baseball cleat when you walk, but it's
Okay.
not a
It's
full
actually
metal
plastic.
screw.
Oh, not the spikes then.
Correct,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And everyone
gotcha.
had it's like a track tool, and they were, and you could get 1-inch cleats or half-inch cleats or whatever. And It was all about changing it out and all that good stuff.
So what about you?
I don't know the name of them. They were Nike, like a Zoom, but they were TOs.
Oh, okay.
I have to send you a
Yo,
picture. Yeah,
you are
I was,
like it wasn't.
yeah, you're talking 2009. I'm like, God dang.
It wasn't his signature. It was just like the ones he wore. Or
Yeah,
was
they're the
this-
ones. I don't know
oh.
if they had his name on it or not, but I just know they were like. I had to have them because I didn't. I'm not a TO fan, but I
That's
just
what I
like-
was going to ask.
I just
Ness.
like
I'm
the
like, you
cleat.
have to like T.O. You
No.
were a receiver.
I was, but I like Michael
You did-
Irvin.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
What about you? Did you have an idol in football?
yeah, Curtis Martin, dude. I was a Jets fan for a few years. Curtis Martin was the man.
You're not
Yeah.
a Jets fan anymore?
No, I've switched to the Raiders. That's
Really?
a story for off air, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, I had a Curtis Martin jersey when we first moved to New York, and I wore that thing religiously. And he was good. I mean, he just bowled people over. He was awesome. Yeah, Curtis Martin, I guess.
Curtis
running back
Martin.
for the Jets. Yeah, he was legit.
Okay. All right. So I had my one-off question to finish it off. I need your artist for the following. If you guys can give it to us. It's just different moods that you're in. What you are going to listen to.
Musical artist or painting?
Musical
Okay,
artist.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. If you want to do a
I was
painter,
gonna say,
if
like
you're
Van
into
Gogh
that,
or-
yeah. If that's your culture, that's cool. Relaxing your mind.
I listen to a lot of Texas country, so like Pat Green, like the old school
Oh, okay.
Morrow, those
Okay.
those kind of guys. So
Okay, Pat
that's
Green.
if I'm a lot of them. It's Texas country.
Okay.
I would say if you come up to the field house on a Saturday when we're working or Sunday morning when we're working, it's Zach Bryan. He got
Yeah.
a big
Okay.
old speaker. And it's kind of like that in Texas country. It's just just
Yeah.
magic playlist. It just comes up with similar songs. But I'd say Zach Bryan's just easy listening, you know.
It
it's
is.
just
It's good.
throw it on in the background, you know.
Okay. I dig it. Getting pumped up.
That's like '90s rock for me, like Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
That's yours, Metallica?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's not that I need music to get pumped up, but if
You're already there.
yeah, I think I'm pretty even keel. I don't get too pumped up.
He has no emotions. On the sideline, you just watch like a big play will happen, and he just
Belichick
yeah, dude. It's all business.
It's my brain's doing.
doing backflips
What do I gotta
up
do
there.
now?
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
They make fun of me because like someone will run right by me and I'll be like, you know, just watch it.
I forget what game that we found it on film. I forget what play it was. We had a big old huge play, and it's right in front of his face, and he's just like on a Sunday morning, just casual. But for me, pump up music, any kind of just like rap. I don't even listen to the
You got to
lyrics.
give me an artist.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing, and this is the God's honest truth. My rap knowledge is 6 months behind of whatever's popular now. So whatever songs are going on. I just heard a song the other day, and Luke told me, he's like, dude, that song's been out for like 2 years. I was like, oh, that came out yesterday.
Check out this new one.
That came out.
I always joke the baby just because it's fun to say. But I do like I like Meek Mill, Wale, but Wale doesn't really
yeah.
make music anymore. Yeah,
Let's throwback a little bit. I like that.
No clue.
but
who
yeah,
that
For our
anything
time.
that's just I can just throw on
You don't know these
super
guys?
loud. The words don't make any sense, and I just
Yeah, they're not
kinda-
saying anything.
No, exactly.
Yeah, they're basically making a beat with their voice.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I like it for is the beat,
Yeah.
the bass. Yeah.
Focusing, like locking in.
Old country. Like,
Okay.
Like old.
You're just all the
like
different
I'm
flavors
all
of
over the
country.
place. I got one playlist that has Amazing Grace, and then it'll have a rap song, and then it's kind of a conglomerate. But I like old
So-
country.
And by rap song, you mean like Kid Rock? It's like
Whatever
Kid
the
Rock.
the kids make Spotify playlists, and then I steal them,
Oh,
and then I
make
make
'em
sure
public?
they're edited so we
Oh.
can play them at practice and
That's
stuff.
cool.
But I don't know what they are, but some of it's good.
Some of it is good.
Yeah,
They
some of
have-
it's
they have some
good,
yeah,
but
there's
some of
tracks
it
on
I'm like,
there.
what is this?
Mm-hmm.
But like this morning, I put on some country, and I was just like, I had to go change it. So they don't like the country.
No, they hate it.
They
We
can't
like
stand
it though. It's
Yeah.
just nice. It's
Right?
like, oh, it's a nice
It's easy.
morning.
Sometimes we're controlling the music though, so they don't
Yeah.
get a choice.
okay. What about you?
To lock in, dude, it's probably rap again, honestly. Again, I don't really listen to the words or the lyrics or even who's singing, but I just something that I can kind of tune out, but still, have in the background is what I like The country doesn't really do that for me, so I got to go a little high paced.
Well, then I'll just give you. So the last one was backyard hangout. Is that going to be kind of the same thing as relaxing your mind kind of deal?
Yeah, that's the Zach Bryan. That's the Texas country stuff. That's the sitting on the back porch, hanging out, relaxing.
Sure. Any words you want to give to anybody watching that's on the team right now, getting ready for Clovis?
We've said it, but we know what's in front of us. We know what the next 3 weeks entails for us. Take care of business, boys. Like, it's in your own hands. A lot of times we've had it to where we've had to have help and had to rely on other people. But right now, at this point in the juncture, it's on you. So believe in what you're doing and keep doing what you're doing and focus on you, and we'll be all right.
Sure. Coach?
We say it. I mean, I've said it 12,000 times this week. Just do the little things. That's all it is. We do the little things right, and whatever you do in life, and the big things will take care of themselves.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys for being on, as always. I'll just give you an air.
Appreciate you.
All righty. Thank you guys for watching, and a big shout out to CNB Bank for sponsoring. Awesome.
Cool.
Woo.